TL. Doctor, I don't like how my boyfriend doesn't take care of himself. He doesn't get haircuts, doesn't shave his beard, doesn't buy clothes, lately smells like sweat, and also jokes about it. My boyfriend and I have been dating since 2018. We drifted apart for a while, but then we got back together last year. We are great together. We basically have the same values and we understand each other really well. What I don't like about our relationship is that he has poor self-care. He gets an haircut like once/twice a year. He has curly hair, so after a while it starts looking like a mess. He doesn't shave his beard, and he doesn't have a full beard. It's really patchy. He doesn't buy any clothes. He always wear the same 2 shirts and 2 pants. Before we meet I know exactly what he's gonna wear cause it's the same shirts every time. I hope he washes them, at least. He's overweight so maybe he's waiting to lose weight before buying clothes. But every time he starts a diet he stops doing it. So why doesn't he just buy clothes that fit him right now? He says he gets bored shopping. Also, he says he always takes showers, but lately smells like sweat, and he said the deodorant he's using isn't really good. Then change it. Don't go around smelling like that. A few weeks ago he smelled so bad I genuinely couldn't be around him. He noticed and asked me why I was so distant, and I couldn't answer cause I couldn't hurt his feelings like that. I'm not a shallow person. Don't think I only care about looks and appearance cause I don't. That's the point. This isn't about looks. It's about hygiene and self-care. I'm attracted to someone that shows interest into making themselves look presentable and smell good. I think I'm allowed to have my own preferences. At first I didn't say anything, maybe cause I don't want to comment on other people's hygiene and lifestyles. You never know the reason behind it. I tried to understand if he was struggling mentally. I asked him how he was doing, but I think the problem is that he thinks it's not necessary to care about his looks that much. I remember him admitting once that he started to lose weight only when we got together cause he wanted to be handsome for me, but the moment he got comfortable he didn't care anymore. And I think that this also applies to self-care. But that's the point. I don't want him to take care of himself just for me. Why can't he do it for himself? He also jokes around about this, saying that he studies physics, and every physicist in history has poor self-care. What should I do? On the one hand I could tell him very gently to take more care of himself, but I have already done this indirectly. When he complains about his looks, clothes, hair, I tell him that he looks better with short hair, that he looks good when he shaves a beard, that he would look great with a new shirt. But on the other hand, I wonder, he's an adult, why should I tell him these things? I'm not his mom, and I never felt like it before now. So why should I start now for something so essential and basic? I feel really bad writing these things, and I also feel bad when he meets with my family or friends, cause I feel so embarrassed that he always looks so shabby. I'm just so annoyed to hear every time that it's boring to get an haircut, it's boring to buy clothes, it's boring to shave a beard. When he says those things I never get mad at him for it, but I definitely look annoyed, and he laughs at me. He thinks it's funny, just like the physicist joke. Well, it's not to me. It's not shallow to want to be with someone who doesn't stink like Bo. You want to be attracted to your partner both emotionally and physically. This man sounds gross. If you can't tell him straight facts like you stink of Bo because you are afraid of hurting his feelings, you barely have a relationship. I've been with my partner for 8 years and I definitely tell him when he's stinky. He also tells me when I'm stinky. Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson were / are astrophysicists and they both groom / follow proper hygiene. There are plenty of physicists who keep themselves clean. You and your boyfriend are very young, but I think this is a good time for him to learn that he needs to take care of himself if he expects to be in a relationship. Thank you. I can't believe I had to scroll this far before someone mentioned Sagan or deGrasse Tyson. It almost sounds like this dude is proud of his lack of hygiene. Like, look how awesome I am. My GF loves me so much. I can be an entire stench factory, and she still stays. At first I didn't say anything, maybe cause I don't want to comment on other people's hygiene and lifestyles. You never know the reason behind it. You guys don't sound very close if this is something you didn't want to broach, especially considering the length of time you've been together. It sounds like the dude is depressed and may not even know it. He may think depression happens to other people and not him. However, since you can't discuss hygiene with him, it doesn't sound like you guys are remotely close enough to discuss mental health. You guys don't sound very close if this is something you didn't want to broach, especially considering the length of time you've been together. Exactly this. I cannot imagine being with someone for 5 years and still not being comfortable enough with them to tell them when they stink. I mean, what's even the point of being in a relationship if after so much time you're still so formal and distant with each other? Do they shake hands when they see each other? I'm not a shallow person. Don't think I only care about looks and appearance cause I don't. That's the point. This isn't about looks. It's about hygiene and self-care. I'm attracted to someone that shows interest into making themselves look presentable and smell good. I think I'm allowed to have my own preferences. Yet, you've spent 5 years with dude. Make it make sense. You do have the option to break up. Opus. Firstly, you don't share the same values. That is the first lie you told yourself. You value hygiene and taking care of your general well-being. He does not. Secondly, saying you don't really ever know the reason when you are talking about your own boyfriend says that you do not communicate well at all. You should be comfortable asking him how he is. You should be able to bring up basic interpersonal issues like his lack of self-care / poor hygiene and how it affects your desire to be physically close to him. You should be able to speak to him about both of your mental, physical and emotional health. If he literally says it's boring as a response to your concerns, it's time to tell him how boring it is to be with somebody who doesn't care about themselves or those around them. A few weeks ago he smelled so bad I genuinely couldn't be around him. He noticed and asked me why I was so distant, and I couldn't answer cause I couldn't hurt his feelings like that. Don't lie to him. Give him the wake up call he needs. Tell him what you want. Give him 2 to 3 weeks to make meaningful changes, and if he doesn't, leave. It sounds like he's too immature to be in a relationship. He might be looking for mom #2, a woman who will take care of him, like he's a child. Don't be mom #2. Oh my god, so much this. Great advice. He is not going to improve, and you cannot parent him into basic hygiene. Break up with him. He may very well improve, but it probably won't happen without a wake-up call. Lots of guys are a mess at 20 and cleaned up by 25. He should be with a stinky partner who's fine with him being a swamp ass, and you should be with a nice clean guy who has his life in order and takes care of himself and you too. This is a **** sandwich relationship. Everything is great, except he doesn't groom himself, shower, or wash his clothes. He's unkempt, overweight, and smelly. You clearly do not have the same values or understand one another. Unfortunately, this is not an uncommon thing for guys his age. I work at a STEM-focused university and I constantly have to get on my students about their hygiene. Many of them sound exactly like your boyfriend. A colleague actually cancelled his class once because the students smelled up the room so bad. I think your only option is to tell him you can't be with someone that doesn't take care of their hygiene. He's clearly not going to change for himself, but he might change to keep you around. This is truly horrifying. I've never heard of this happening before. Growing up, we had hygiene classes in grade 6 because young bodies were going to start going through those important changes and you needed to know how to deal with the various smells. You don't need to keep dating someone who looks and smells bad on purpose. Tell him to clean himself up. If he won't, leave him. It's not shallow to want a partner that doesn't have a stench. But the moment he got comfortable he didn't care anymore. Are you not insulted? He doesn't feel like you're worth looking / smelling good for. I have ASD and ADHD, lucky me, so I get incredibly overwhelmed and overstimulated when shopping for clothes. Yet, I do it because I need to look presentable for work. I also have a partner and I've noticed it's some kind of love language for him if I make an effort in looking nice for him. So, I do that. Not a big deal. I did suffer from a depression a couple of years back. I was with another guy who never made an effort for me. I gained weight and nothing looked good on me. I think your partner is depressed. He needs to get help. I guarantee Op would be thrilled to take him shopping or to the barber. My partner has moments like this, and so do I typically. If it's gone on for too long we will have an honest convo like, yo, your beau has been bothering me, take a shower if you wanna cuddle. Sometimes he takes a shower and other times he accepts his fate, that I will be relaxing on the other side of the bed or in a different room. My partner is T10 paraplegic, so I try to be understanding that hygiene and everything will always be a little harder than someone able-bodied. I did drive him to his haircut apt recently, BC it had been like 3 to 4 months. We were already out, and he was taking me on a date soon, so I wanted him to look nice. Dropped him off, did my own thing, he then rewarded me with sushi. Are you able to be honest with your partner and maybe see if he's just needing a little support knowing where to start? The "it's boring" comments really get to me. Not every aspect of life is supposed to be fun. Grow up and take care of yourself. A few weeks ago he smelled so bad I genuinely couldn't be around him. He noticed and asked me why I was so distant, and I couldn't answer cause I couldn't hurt his feelings like that. You either have to say something about it or leave him. It's not a guarantee that saying something about it will get him to change, but it's a guarantee that it won't change without either one of those things happening. Stop trying to be gentle or indirect about it, because that's not how you're feeling. Hey buddy, if you don't do a 180 on your hygiene, starting now, then I'm going to have to leave you. You need to tell him honestly what's going on. His feelings might get hurt, but he needs to hear it. Soon there won't be anyone who can stand being around him. I've dumped friends because of poor hygiene. I'm done dealing with it. On some level I get the clothes thing. When I was in my early 20s I also hated shopping. But not because I found it boring. Even though that's what I said, it's because I didn't have any sense of self or style. So I just wore what was comfortable, graphic tees and jeans. But there's really not much of an excuse for not having good hygiene. If he's mentally troubled or can't pay the bills I get it. But outside of those two things there's nothing I can really think of. Just tell him. Be direct and compassionate. You asked why I was avoiding you yesterday. I'm sorry to have to say this, but it was because you had strong body odor and it was unpleasant when I got too close. If you want me to spend time around you, it's important that you don't smell bad. Is there a reason you have found it hard to manage this lately? I have something important to talk about. I'm attracted to men who are well groomed, with clean shaved and well fitting clothes. I would love it if you did that. Is this something you would be open to? If you would find it difficult, why is that? A lot of men figure out how to groom attractively in their early 20s. Usually the catalyst is needing to be attractive to women. It's worth a shot. Women are not rehabilitation centers for poorly raised men. OMG. Seriously. Leave. And I'll tell you why. Been married 28 years this weekend. And my husband started like that about 10 years ago. I never left. And I feel like it's harder now. But he has progressed to the point where it's a minimum of 8 days between showers. Most of the time he showers twice a month. And it's gotten worse. Please. Do not be me. Don't wait till you're as old as me and don't know what to do. Leave. Now. Please. You know you can also leave. You've been dating this person since you were a child. It seems like this is a teenage relationship that isn't sweeting you anymore, that you are holding on to out of fear rather than because it's actually improving your life. My partner is a physicist. He has never smelled like BO and gets his hair cut regularly. We've been together since 2007 and he's never failed at self-care that hard. Every physicist in history has sucked at self-care is a pile of dog shit excuse and a stupid joke at that. I tend to get bored shopping for clothes so I shop online. This is not hard. If he's depressed, he needs to see a therapist or a doctor. If he's lazy, that is not good. Not doing basic hygiene should be a deal breaker. Have some self-respect and find someone who doesn't stink.